Evening, everyone. I hope you're well. Marty the Mad Magpie here this evening, and I've come on tonight to talk about a subject which has been milling round. Certainly some Magpie supporters out there who believe that it is nearly time for the board to act in terms of Eddie Howe and Newcastle United's situation in the league table. We're currently sitting in 7th place, but for some, it's not good enough, and some people say that we need a change. I have to emphasise that. Some, not all. But before I go into that, guys, welcome once again. It's great to have you once more. I do apologise that I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, but I have been on holiday. But it is great to be back, and it's great to be with you all once again. And as I usually say, if you want to subscribe to my channel, guys, to get instant access to any new videos as soon as they flash up, just subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. And if you like this video and any others on my channel, please give us a like. It'll be much appreciated. It will help the channel grow. And if you want to leave a comment on this video or any others on my channel, you're more than welcome. And as I've always said, I will try and get back to you, as many of you as I can. Okay, so welcome once again. So the question is, Newcastle United, they are currently 7th in the table. And there are certain people out there who are saying that Eddie Howe, his time is, his rope's running low. He's running out of energy at Newcastle, running out of excuses, if you like. And all this stuff, all this shite, what gets banded about the manager. And some people want him gone. Me, personally, I want Eddie Howe to stay. But I'm going to get into certain things about it. I do have a couple of question marks about him. But as I say, I'm going to get into that. So let's take a look at some of these facts. Newcastle United, Eddie Howe's been in charge since 2021, brought in to get us out of the relegation zone by the new owners. Managed to do that, guided us to 10th place in the league. The following season, we got into the Champions League, which was superb. A lot of people said at the time we've overachieved. I was probably one of them that said it. The following season, we finished 7th. Last season, obviously, with a Champions League campaign and a lot of injuries, we didn't play some good football, I've got to say. And this season, I mean, I've made a point a while ago, not on the videos, but also said that by October, November, if Eddie Howe isn't, if Newcastle aren't chugging away nicely, then the board might start to ask questions about the future of Eddie Howe. And I said that quite candidly a while ago. I mean, I was shot down in flames by a few people about it. And, the question is, how long will Eddie Howe be at Newcastle? Do people want him to stay at Newcastle? And what is the long-term plan for the club? My personal opinion is I don't want Eddie Howe to leave, and I don't think he will leave, not yet. I don't believe he'll leave yet. I believe that in time they will make the decision to change the manager because, Eddie Howe, as much as I like the guy, he has been brought in. He was brought in as the gatekeeper at Newcastle United. And he's basically the man who's been brought in by the new owners to stabilise the club, get them up to where they need to be. But every manager has their limits. And I think Eddie Howe, I don't think he's near his limits, but he's not, within time, it's going to remain to be seen whether he can compete as an elite manager. I'm saying in time, he could be, but is it right for him at the minute? And there's a lot of rumours going around whether he could be linked with the England job, and that's really bothering the players. It's bothering the club. It's bothering the fans, because Eddie Howe has never denied, that he's never denied that he's spoken to England. He's never said that he's not interested in the England job. If he had, I think a lot of more people would be at ease, including the players, as I said. But he's never said that. And we don't know whether he's spoken to the FA, whether he's had an interview or anything. Everything has been kept hush-hush. And me personally, I think if Eddie Howe is offered the England job, I think he'll take it. I think he'll take it, because even if it doesn't work out, he can always say he's managed England. But the downside to that is, if you manage England and it goes wrong, you usually don't manage a top-flight club again. And it usually proves that. But at the same time, it might be going through Eddie Howe's mind, thinking, wait, if I do take the England job, if I'm offered it, and then Newcastle are thinking about sacking me, then I've dodged a bullet. However, I could stay at Newcastle, I could get sacked from Newcastle, and I could go somewhere else, and maybe I won't land a top job again. So that is a concern. But me personally, my view on Eddie Howe is, I like him. I think his man management skills are really good. But, and there is a but here, I just think sometimes, sometimes I think he leaves his plan B on the bus. He has got one, as we've seen against Wolves and against West Ham last season, when we've had to come from goals down. You know, same against Man City, albeit it was a penalty from Anthony Gordon. But there didn't seem to be any plan B against Everton, and he seemed to have left it on the bus. I mean, I was quite critical of, he had William Masula sitting on the bench against Everton, you know, and I said at the time, why didn't you put him on? You know, he brought Gordon off, he brought Almiron on, and I'm thinking, there's no bloody striker out there. You've got a striker sitting on the bench, and already they're saying that he's a project player. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the lad's 21. He's not 17 or 18, 16, 17, 18-year-old. The lad's 21. He's played for Sheffield United up front in the Premier League. What I say is, if we need a goal, you've got a striker on the bench, put him out there. I mean, look at David Moyes back when he was in charge of Everton, and he gave Wayne Rooney his debut against Arsenal. Everton needed a goal. He put him on. He gave him a run out. You think, well, it's 1-1. What we got to lose? Wayne Rooney comes on, 16 years old, scores a cracking goal to win the game. I personally would have put William Masula out there. And without Isak and without Wilson at the minute, I think personally, put him out there. But that's me. Whether he's having disagreements with the director of football or whatever, Paul Mitchell and Darren Eales. But at the end of the day, Eddie Howe should be, as a manager, putting his foot down and saying to them guys, look, we work alongside each other. You don't work, I don't work under you. You know, you don't work under me. We work along the same level with the same line. So we've got to work together. And maybe the communication's broken down there. But I just think, personally, guys, as much as we all want Eddie Howe to stay, I think the chairman's been over the last couple of weeks, and he's been over having a bit crack with, they say that he's been cracking to Paul Mitchell and Darren Eales, been talking about the stadium expansion, all that sort of thing. But he would have had a bit crack with Eddie Howe as well. And usually a chairman, no matter how far away they live or where they, you know, how often they're at the ground, they'll always have a bit crack with the manager and say, what's going on, you know? And I'm pretty sure one of his questions would have been, is everything all right? What's going on? We're 7th in the league. We're doing all right, but we need to be better. What's going on with the players? Anything that needs sorting out, sort it. That's just, like I say, that's just type of, that's just, what's the word? It's a big word, but I can't think of it. That's just wishful thinking. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what I'd be saying if I was a chairman of Newcastle United. I'd be saying, look, Eddie, what's going on here? You know, I was 7th in the league. You didn't, you know, you ask for a striker in the summer? Because that's something else which really bothers me and all, is that Paul Mitchell was trying to hammer down a deal for Mark Gahey, a centre-back. Eddie Howe knew that he needed a right-sided player and a striker. And we didn't get them. We got William Masula. Yeah, all right, we got a striker there, but he doesn't play him. So I'm just wondering, and what I'm worried about is that, as I said, the chairman's been over a couple of times in the last few weeks. You know, I'm worried that they are weighing him up. They're watching him. And I think if results, we don't improve and we don't break into the top 6 and stay there by Christmas, then come January, I think they'll be saying to Eddie, thank you very much, mate. You've done what you can, but we need somebody else. And, you know, get somebody else in January. However, they might decide to say, right, Eddie, in January, you've got a bit of money to spend. You've got some money to spend. We want you to spend it, but there's a rider. We want European football. If we don't get it, then, you know, you're out. You're out the door. And that's something I don't want to see, but I can't help but think that it is coming one day because, as I said earlier on in the video, Eddie Howe was brought in as the gatekeeper at Newcastle United. And Newcastle United could deny that as much as they like, you know, that it's not the case. But it is, because it was the same at Man City. Mark Hughes was there for a time. Then he was moved on. Roberto Mancini come in, won the league, won the FA Cup for Man City. But then he was moved on for Manuel Pellegrini. Then he left and then Pep come in. So it's one of them, you know, where you're thinking Eddie Howe, he needs to get it right all the time. You know, you could bring somebody like Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte in, Jurgen Klopp, managers like that. You know, you could bring one of them in. They've already got the reputation as a good manager. Eddie Howe has still got to make that. So he's doing okay. I don't want him to leave the club, but at the minute, are Newcastle United thinking about it? Is it in the pipeline? Are they watching Eddie Howe's performances as a manager and his team's performances on the pitch? You know, that is the question, guys. Is Eddie Howe in line for the sack? You know? But let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. Does Marty the Mad Magpie talk out of his backside? Is he talking out of his backside? Or do you think there's some truth in it somewhere? Because, to be quite honest, I think there's movement afoot. But that's just my opinion, guys. Okay? So let me know in the comments what you think. And it'd be great to hear from you. And just let me know, guys. Even if you want to pop us a comment and say hi, it'll be great to hear from you. Okay? So my summing up of this video is, I don't want Eddie Howe to be sacked. I don't think he will be sacked in the near future. But how long is he going to have at Newcastle United? That is the question. And how long are the owners going to put up with not being in the top 4 or challenging for the title? You know, that is the question. Do they need to move on? Who knows? But that's my opinion. Eddie Howe isn't getting the sack, but not yet. That's my opinion. Okay, he's not getting sacked yet. Okay, guys, so thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'll catch up with you all soon. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you want instant access to my videos. And if you like this video and any others on my channel, please give us a like. It'll help the channel grow. And as I said, if you want to leave a comment, or even if you just want to say hello, it'll be great to hear from you guys, okay? So let me know what you think in the comments about my views in the video, okay? I'll catch up with you all soon. All the best to you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye for now. Marty the Mad Magpie signing off. Thank you very much for joining me. Cheerio.